Greetings and welcome to the 1/6 Scale Man proudly presents an episode. This is a recorded episode of Comic Book Talk with Friends. Now, this is not an episode. This is basically a standalone video that I decided that I wanted to do, mainly because, again, we've gotten Captain America Brave New World that was actually introduced this weekend, preferably Friday night. You might as well say like Thursday evening because that's when we went to go see it. But specifically, I wanted to actually have a conversation about this movie because of the drama surrounding it. And now I don't want to say drama in the midst of, the MCU drama, the average MCU drama, which we already know it's like an echo chamber pretty much throughout the community. But I wanted to talk about something else. And that's just basically, like I said, representation of a dream. Okay. Now I titled this one The American Controversy, is because, again, there seems to be a majority of people out there who feel as though Sam Wilson, his version of Captain America, isn't warranted. Now, the thing is, I'm going to bring up a couple of different things. We're going to talk about this as the video goes on, and we're going to kind of get into this discussion because I think it deserves to be, pretty much put out on the table. I got a chance to see this movie Thursday night with Vinny, who's also a panelist here on Comic Book Talk with Friends, and we had a good time actually watching it. We had our opinions about it, but all in all, we enjoyed ourselves, and I thought it was a great film. I thought it was an amazing film. I thought that Sam Wilson submitted himself as the new Captain America. Now, again, knowing the source material, knowing that basically this was a passage and a pathway that was already set, and it was there, mind you, key phrase, source material, because it's there. It's there for you to basically read. Now, if you're looking for certain, things that you want to, or books that I would actually say that I would recommend that you pick up, you want to do this in order, because there's certain reasons why I would actually suggest these two books. Now, to go over the history of Sam Wilson, it's there. You can go through the history of when the character was introduced. I'm not here to talk about the Falcon per se right now. I'm here to talk about Captain America and when the transition basically took place, and why I feel as though it was warranted, and why we have to accept him as the new Captain America, because it was already written in stone. Now, the two books that I want to actually recommend, first and foremost, one is one that came before the events that we know, and when the transition took place. And this is very important. Check out this particular book, Captain America. This is basically about the Iron Nail, part 4. Now, within this particular book here is when Captain America lost to Super Serum. Okay, he was battling basically this, which is basically a villain in this book. You pick it up, you'll actually get all the actual text that you need to really understand how this happened and how Steve Rogers lost his ability. So it's important that you actually pick up this book. Secondary, I think that you should also pick up this book. Now, this book is very important because this is Captain America. Who is the new Captain America? This is actually Captain America number 25. And this is when Steve Rogers himself introduced Sam Wilson as the new Captain America. Okay. And again, it made sense once you follow the story. It also made sense with the host of characters that was in here. And it also makes sense that Sam Wilson would have been the individual to pick up the ranks as the new Captain America. It made a lot of sense. If you follow basically the track record between both Sam Wilson and Cap, they've been the best of friends for the longest time. If you want to understand why, in fact, Bucky, again, who also became Captain America, but he wasn't given the mantle of Captain America from Steve Rogers. He was given this mantle of Captain America from Iron Man Tony Stark himself, once Captain America, and again, when he passed away, when he was murdered, or perceived to be murdered at that particular time. Tony Stark felt as though that someone, or America, needed representation of Captain America. Hence, he passed the shield to Bucky Barnes himself, the Winter Soldier. That's the story from for another time. But again, there's reasons why. And if you basically look at the film, if we're looking at it from the cinematic standpoint, Bucky should have never been Captain America because of his track record, because of the crimes basically that were made, not only just basically crimes by the name of Winter Soldier, but also crimes on American soil at that time. So if you think about it, there's a lot going against that. Reasons why we already say Sam Wilson is the perfect candidate and was the perfect candidate to pick up the mantle as Captain America, even without the serum. And there's reasons. And again, if you follow the story, it is very interesting because they're talking about Sam Wilson as the man, Sam Wilson as the representation of the dream, of the American dream. Now, there's been a whole bunch of jargon and conversations about what, Anthony Mackie basically said of what Captain America represents and what Sam Wilson represents, and why he felt as though America shouldn't be one of them, because it's the integrity, it's his will, it's basically his motivation and the dream that's surrounding it. Now, you think that's basically the first time you heard that sentiment? No, because Steve Rogers himself had the same interpretation and also said these same things. So again, if you go back in history, if you read the books, you'll definitely understand that they both share similarities in the dream. Captain America represents the American dream of what America could be. Not what America is right now, but America could be and should strive to be. So again, Sam Wilson has a place in perfect representation of the character. I just wanted to kind of get that out the way first. Now, before we kind of dive into this and my thoughts on what's going on right now, I do want to actually pay homage first and foremost to the places where we get these figures from. Thank you for basically being here with me at this point, because I just felt need to kind of talk about this. First and foremost, got to give a shout out to my man Ray over there at Underground Figures. Again, if you're looking for the latest and greatest in 1/6 scale collecting, head on over there. Ray will definitely take care of you. Sign up for that newsletter so you're always up to date as to when your figure's going to arrive or a new figure's being introduced. Make sure you sign up for that newsletter so you're always up to date. On top of that, create yourself an account, because you never know when he may have free shipping on most of the figures. And on top of that, discount prices on some of these figures. So keep that in mind when you are purchasing this stuff, man. So definitely head on over there. He'll take care of you. Also got to give a super duper shout out to my man Hawk Wars Ray. I call him Cool Water Ray because he gives you nice little care package. Not just the figure that you're looking for, but you also get stickers. You also get comic books, because when he gives you these figures, he wants to make sure that you have source material as well, and you know where these characters come from. So hit up Ray. Also, you'll get your stuff in a timely manner. He'll definitely take care of you. Such a pillar in this community. So make sure you head on over there, and he'll hook you up. He'll make sure that you have everything that you actually need. Also, got to give a super duper shout out to my man Jacob over there, Comic Relief and Comic Collectibles. If you're looking for the latest and greatest, not in just comics, 1/10 scale, 12 scale, quarter scale, anything you're looking for, he'll find it for you. He'll definitely make sure that you are taken care of. And last but not least, got to give a super duper shout out to my man Brian Wong over there at Module Case, Module Space. He'll definitely make sure that you have everything that you need to proceed when it comes to collecting. I mean, when it comes to basically like just, any type of display option. I have the mono, but again, you can get your own out there whenever you're actually looking for it. But yeah, I would suggest that you go out there and hit him up, because he'll definitely take care of you and he'll basically give you what you need to proceed, as he always does. Because again, Brian Wong is an incredible individual, and again, he takes care of us. So anyway, getting back to what I wanted to actually discuss here again, because it's definitely warranted to have that discussion. We're talking about none other than Sam Wilson, Captain America. This is our interpretation of the new Captain America. Now, I know most of you out there have probably went and seen Brave New World. If you haven't, then you're probably going this weekend. Here's my thoughts. And I just wanted to kind of do this because we're going to talk about it more on Comic Book Talk with Friends on Monday. But I wanted to give you my thoughts on it. Listen, when you go into this film, you need to wipe the slate clean. And what I mean by that is, it's not for, hear me out when I say this, first and foremost, it is, and let me solo myself so you can understand this. It is not Steve Rogers, okay? Steve Rogers, his story was concluded in Endgame. So it is not Steve Rogers. At the end of that film, what did he do? He passed the mantle on to Sam Wilson. He gave the shield to Sam Wilson. So keep that in mind. Understand this. Sometimes we have a problem with letting go of the past and moving forward. The only way these stories can be progressed is if we let go of the past and move forward. Not the past, but move forward. Let go of it. Because again, his story was concluded. All right. So let's just put that out there. His story was definitely concluded. We have Sam Wilson now as the new Captain America, as that story was followed beautifully in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It ended with Captain America in a Winter Soldier. So please, when I'm telling you, I'm just trying to basically put that out there, man. I love Steve Rogers as Cap. And if you're following the books right now, he's back. He's back, and he is Captain America, but he's an interpret. It's two versions. It's not just Sam Wilson as Captain America. It is also Steve Rogers as Captain America. It's there. It is there. It is definitely there. And there's room for there to be two. God, I mean, why is it that we get so stuck in this space where we, again, aren't able to move forward, or we don't want to see something new? It doesn't just basically happen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It happens in Star Wars as well. But you know what? I digress because I don't want to go down that road. Right now, we are talking about Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I mean, Captain America, Brave New World. I'm sorry. So here's my interpretation. Was the film 100% amazing? I'm not going to put it there because there's some things that could have been kind of dusted off, some things that could have been tightened up about the film. But I was there to enjoy myself for a cinematic experience. Whatever the writing was, whatever the rough cuts was, and how many edits, how many reshoots, regardless of any of that, Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie's portrayal of Sam Wilson was solid, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. He is amazing as Captain America, and I wouldn't want to see anybody else pick up that role as Sam Wilson as Captain America. He did a bang-up job. He portrayed it incredibly, right? So I just want to start there. Everything that he basically did was phenomenal, and you can't take that away from me. Give him a chance. You know what I mean? The first outing, the first cinematic interpretation of this particular character. And I think that we should give it that. We should give it that level of respect that it deserves and it needs to have. But unfortunately, we live in a space where people don't want to do that, right? This movie was, you might as well say, like, the way from if you leave it up to everybody else's interpretation, the movie was doomed to fail before it actually got, or even got a chance to take off, pun intended, because everybody's perception of the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now, they're stuck on stupid and they keep going back to the past instead of moving forward. Have there been duds? Yes. There have been a lot of duds. We know that. There have been a lot of duds. But I think that for the most part, they are doing what they can to right that ship. And I think that what we got here from this particular movie, the espionage was there. The stakes were there. They were set. Harrison Ford as the Red Hawk was incredible. I loved him as the Red Hawk. I think that he did a bang-up job. He did an amazing job as his character. Loved it. I definitely loved it. You know what I mean? I think that what he did and what he brought us, you know, again, it's Harrison Ford, man. And if you're looking for a grumpy individual to portray this character, I think you got it. You got it out there with him. I think he was incredible. He was definitely incredible. Loved it. I loved everything about it. Everything that we got from his performance. I think he did an incredible job, an amazing job as the character. Now, I don't want to get into like spoiler territory yet because I'm going to save that for Monday's discussion. Right now, I just wanted to talk about my overall thoughts about the film and also the American interpretation or perception of Sam Wilson as Captain America. Because here's the thing. I do want to say one thing, and I'm going to say it, and I don't care. It's Black History Month. I told y'all I'm going to be black as hell. So I'm just going to put it out there. There is a lot of racism surrounding the character. There's a lot of racism surrounding the interpretation of Sam Wilson as Captain America. People don't want to actually admit it. They don't want to say that it's justifiable, but it is. There's a lot of racism surrounding the character. They made it prevalent in the book. There was a book entitled Not My Captain America. So they made a point to put that out there, right? And the struggles of him picking up the mantle as Captain America, because they knew this was going to come. It only speaks about today's society in modern times right now and how we view things. Anybody that's black, for real, anybody out there that's, you know, of African descent, There's come a struggle with that, and it's terrible. It's insane the amount of jargon that I've actually heard thus far, even from a lot of content creators out there. Sorry, I'm gonna put you on blast too, because you should be ashamed of yourself putting out a lot of negative shit. Because here's the thing: if you didn't enjoy the film, you just didn't enjoy the film. That's fine. If you just thought it was lacking, that's fine. But I've heard some other shit. I've heard other people talk about that's not my Captain America. Sorry to say it, but it is, because that's the avenue that they went, and the source material speaks otherwise. Contrary to what you believe, it's out there. He's Captain America. Sit your ass down. You might as well just accept it for what it is. Or just don't go see the film, plain and simple. But I'm just tired of hearing y'all talk about the same recycled jargon. It becomes Chinese whispers, and it's not original anymore. He's black. He's Captain America. Accept the shit. If you don't want to accept it, then that's on you. But anyway, moving forward, I think his portrayal as Captain America was incredible. But again, I think they knew that going into this particular film. And that was weighted. That's the thing. It was weighted. It was his first introduction into the cinematic universe as Captain America, and it wasn't accepted. Man, listen. Unfortunately, we see the other ugly side of society and humanity right now. It is the ugly side of humanity that hates, discrimination, inclusion is always on and in question. It's the ugly side of the state and the country that we live in at this particular moment. And the spotlight is on us. But it's crazy now that it's basically it's drifted from just, something that we've tried to really escape with reality, and drifted into what we call in fiction, a space where we come to enjoy these things. It always infiltrates. And that's it. Like film, comic book collecting, figure collecting, everything has become more political. It is pathetic to me. It is insane to me. People don't like to hear it, but it's the truth. It is insane where we are right now. It's become way more political than it has to actually be. This is comics, man. Comic book characters, enjoyment, entertainment, things that we are supposed to sit back with our families, eat popcorn, go to the theater, watch it on the big screen, and enjoy ourselves. But we can't, because we have to have political banter back and forth about the color of a man's skin. Crazy. That's insane to me. That's definitely insane to me. It really is. But you know what it is? We're never going to get beyond that. It's an unfortunate thing, but we're not going to get beyond that. Here's another thing, right? And this is it's crazy to kind of mention this, but we have to mention it because it is also the elephant in the room. I want to mention this. I want to bring up this actress as well, because I think it's worth bringing up, right? Here's the thing. So I give you this particular character who played Sabra in the film, right? So she played Sabra. She portrayed Sabra in the film. Her name is Shara Haas, right? Shara Haas did an amazing job as Sabra. I quite enjoyed her character, right? I want to put this out there because it definitely needs to be talked about. I thoroughly enjoyed her portrayal of this character in the film. I did. But the problem is, and people don't want to actually admit this, the problem is the politics got in the middle of it, because she's Israeli. She's from Israel. So she's Israeli. So you can't basically look at just her portrayal on screen. You challenge her because of where she's from. And so because of that, Marvel did take liberties. They took liberties in cutting back and scaling back on just the conversation surrounding her character and where she's from. They did mention that she was from Israel, or she was, Israeli. But they also basically said that she came from the Red Room. So she's basically she's part of the Widow Project. All right. So, but the jargon that I've actually heard surrounding this character, which I think, Shara Haas excellently played this character. She did an incredible bang-up job. But the argument surrounding it was insane to me. Insane to me. The stuff that I basically heard about her portrayal. Literally insane what she had to endure. And I thought that was completely unfair. It wasn't fair at all. It wasn't. It wasn't fair at all. At all. Because I think she did what she could with the character that was actually given, and I quite enjoyed that. But it wasn't just her. It doesn't stop there. It definitely doesn't stop there. I give you right here, I give you Zasha Rockmore. Now, she basically played the hand. She was right second hand to the president himself, head of his guard. She was basically the one that he went to make sure that everything was taken for. A powerful, powerful black woman on screen, who I think did a hell of a job, right? An incredible job. But you know what the jargon was? I think she was weak. I think she wasn't really good in her role. Why would he have a black woman beside him? Oh, here we go with this whole. And here's another thing. Can we get a new word for 2025? Can we stay away from woke? Can we move beyond that shit? Because y'all been misappropriating the word for the longest fucking time. Like literally, y'all have been taking a word and weaponizing it, and not really. You're too stupid to find out what the meaning means, what the true meaning of the word is. So you take it and you weaponize it, and it becomes again recycled jargon. Because again, and then you don't have an argument to support it. So if you choose to be stuck on stupid, there is phonics out there for the stupid ones. I just want to say that. Know the word before you use it. Know how it originated, where it came from before you use it. So I don't believe in that. Anyway, let's get back to Zasha Rockmore, who played an incredible character. In this, she was a Secret Service agent, and she did a bang-up job in this film. I think she definitely did. But she also received a lot of criticism, which was kind of stupid at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it was dumb. It was dumb. But, you know, it is what it is. Oh, we ain't done. We ain't done, because there's so many other places that we can actually go, right? There's so many other people or other characters or other individuals that we can actually talk about as well. Okay, let's talk about one more. Let's talk about one more, right? Let's talk about, you know, again, Joaquin Torres, that was in the actual film, who basically was portrayed by the great or the amazing Danny Ramirez, young actor, up and coming, and I think he did a bang up job portraying this particular character. But they said their camaraderie wasn't believable, right? Their friendship wasn't believable. The banter back and forth was weak. We didn't see that. Come on, man. You're reaching now. So you're just literally trying to find words not to really like the film. Trying to find reasons not to like it. Now, again, I say it from the very top. Were there holes in the plot? Did it seem rushed at time? Yes. But once the second and third act picked up, it was incredible. And I liked it and I loved it. I enjoyed it. But that's my interpretation. That's my opinion of it. Doesn't have to be yours. But at least I'm not finding reasons to reach. I just call it like I said. I'm just going to put it out there. But I think that they did a bang-up job. Incredible. Both of them, they played off of each other. The friendship that developed between both of them was amazing, right? So I just want to put that out there first and foremost. But yes, this character even got a lot of scrutiny, which was dumb to me. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. But it is what it is. But the whole thing is, like, listen, we have to let this breathe. Let the characters breathe. Let the portrayal of these characters be what it is. I thoroughly enjoyed it for what it was. I accepted it for what it was. I went into this film with no expectations and got exactly what I wanted to get from it. A really enjoyable film, right? Not an A+ film. I gave it a solid B because of the attempt and because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just like it, for real. That's just the way I basically, and if you look at it, like pretty much, if you look at it from a standpoint, this got a higher audience rating than Captain America, the First Avenger. This got a higher audience rating. Now, critic rating is totally different because the critics tried to sabotage this shit from the very beginning. And I will say this right off the bat, and let me solo myself when I say this. You self-proclaimed, and I'm just going to say this right now, not naming names, but you self-proclaimed critics out there, content creators, who just drive off of algorithms. I mean, you can only ride that. It's a one-trick pony, and you can only ride that for so long before you're exposed. And I'm just going to say that right off the bat. You use this platform to put out a whole bunch of bullshit, and you're gonna get called out on it. And I'm just gonna put that out there, plain and simple. Self-proclaimed. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm sorry, I gotta say it because it is what it is. But otherwise, come on, man. Literally, his audience rating was a lot higher. And the audience is speaking. I don't know who these critics are, and they're viewing his films. I don't know who you are, but the audience rating is speaking for itself. Because here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you why I don't believe critics. Because they'll tell you that the movie's good, and then it's a bag of bullshit. Thor: Love and Thunder, case in point. Just got to put that out there. Sorry, I hate that film. Everybody knows it. That wasn't my Thor. It was crazy. It was dumb. But this right here was completely enjoyable. But then the critic ratings, they sabotaged it. And we already know what it is. And I'm just going to call it how I see it. And again, make me believe otherwise. A lot of it was politically charged and motivated. And because of the color of this man's skin. Because I guarantee you, if this had been Steve Rogers in this film, it wouldn't have got the critic rating that it got. And I'm just going to say that right off the bat. Yes, y'all can be like, no, why can't you accept it? Was just a really bad? No, that's bullshit. Because the audience rating is much higher. And it's basically, you can hear it from a whole bunch of people that aren't content creators, that aren't on social media talking shit. They enjoyed it. So just let it be that. I guarantee you it would have been a different story if Chris Evans would have been in this film. It'd have been a totally different story. The critics would have found a way to like this fucking film. And I'm just going to tell you that right off the bat. Anyway, use your own judgment. Go see the film for itself. But again, this is the reason why he is Captain America. It is written in stone. I gave you 2 books in the very beginning to go read and understand why he was chosen. And its source material wasn't something that just came out of the air. It's here. He's Captain America. Sam Wilson is Captain America. Anthony Mackie did a bang-up job. Accept it for what it is. If you can't, that's your own damn problem. But he right now is my Captain America. Yes, I said it. And I'm going to enjoy it and leave it right there. Anyway, with all that basically being said, I just wanted to come in and say that right off the rip. We're going to talk about this more so on Comic Book Talk with Friends on Monday. Sorry, had to admit, that's why I'm here. But anyway, we're going to talk about this more on Monday. Tune in, me, Vinny, Jedi Kid, Hoberticus. We'll sit down and have this conversation more so in detail. It will be spoiler talk. I wanted to save that, but I just wanted to give you my honest opinion, honest view, and kind of talk about that. And we'll talk about it more in detail. Anyway, if you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you're always up to date as to what we got going over here on the channel itself. But until then, until Monday, I'll talk to you guys later on. Peace out.